I think it's important, even though it's like a silly story. It's like what will give you longevity, both in your career mentally and also financially. And then I would also say that from a time freedom standpoint as well, that's kind of one thing that I've always been after. That I wanted to do something, and I guess weddings maybe checked all those boxes because I have to be there on Saturdays, but I could run my business from anywhere in the world from Sunday to Friday every single weekend, or if I have a Saturday off, that can be like a 2 week trip. So I took pretty heavy advantage of that for a bunch of years. Like any last minute discount trips available, like I'd be into it. It's even cheaper in Europe and in the UK. You guys have Ryanair. We don't. I guess we at the time we didn't really have anything even roughly similar. And it always blew the North American, Canadian, US mind to be like, you can fly from like London to Berlin for like $40. What is going on over there? So yeah, that was a lot of my early I guess, motivation to shoot weddings. So even if maybe I wasn't shooting my ideal clients and it wasn't the most fun of a job, I knew that the money would at least allow me to do something that was fun for a little bit.
I tell you a crazy story. So I remember when these cheap airlines first sort of arrived on the scene, Ryanair and EasyJet is another one over here. And it's like derivatives now. What is it? Eurowings and where there's a whole bunch of those. At the time, because I remember when I first moved to London in 1996, the only way that it was actually cheaper to fly from Heathrow to New York City than it was to fly from Heathrow to Germany at the time.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
Okay.
because there were more people flying to New York than there would
Yeah.
be to, like, Stuttgart, in the backwaters of southern Germany, basically. And so it was prohibitively expensive for me to go and see my parents at the time. Um, and so when when those cheap airlines first arrived, they had, like, super mega deals. It was unbelievable. So I was playing in a band at the time, and we flew to Sweden, to Gothenburg, in Sweden, um, on 1 penny tickets. I mean, it was 1 penny and 14 pounds, which is what, like, $20 airport tax. That was it
Yeah,
I mean,
that's amazing.
it was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and you sort of think like, how does this work? This business model is bizarre. You pay nothing, and,
Yeah.
they fly you anywhere you want.
Yeah,
It's
that was
changing.
Iceland for a while. Iceland Air for, like with Canada, I think during the, like, 2008 era, the government was, like, heavily subsidizing tickets, so we could do from Toronto, we could get to Iceland for, like, $99, I think, like, both ways, for a little while. So, yeah, that was the only, mega deal that I ever got to cash in on, and I'm sad it's gone because it's now, like, 700 instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
99, but yeah.
Yeah, that's always I mean, now it's a shocker, for me to, like, fly over to North America, and it's like, "Oh, man, it's thousands of
Yeah.
pounds," So, I mean, you teach photographers starting out, in photography. What would be your, like, your starting out piece of advice is for somebody who was thinking about setting themselves up as a wedding photographer in
Um,
2025?
I would say in weddings at least, one of the big things for me was knowing that I wanted to outsource a lot of my, business day to day, so I think becoming okay with that in the beginning is important because, you get very close to your work and it's very difficult to do after a little while. But if it's built in from the beginning, if you know you're gonna have somebody, processing images or, you're gonna, be using AI or something that's built in the beginning, that's good. Um, I would say beyond that, just get out and start creating the portfolio that you want to exist in the world. I would say that like whatever you can do to create something that is very much yourself. Because there's a pretty good chance that the people hiring you in the beginning are just going to be essentially hiring you because probably budget. They probably don't have a lot of money. And then also because they just want someone again that's kind of a friend to, I guess, a hired friend. So they pay you money and you're their friend for the day. So if you're able to kind of check both of those boxes and you have a portfolio that displays that you're going to fit in with their friend group, I feel like that's a pretty good starting point. That's what I did. I noticed that a few of the early shoots that I did really popped off in terms of just like new leads coming in, and when leads came in, that they were very quick to book as well. So yeah, I would say just creating that portfolio and whatever the business looks like for you, you are kind of in complete control of it. That if you want to create that destination business, it's going to cost a little bit more money probably on the startup because you're going to have to fly out, do some workshops, set up some shoots to show that like, hey, I'm a destination photographer. But if you're working close to home, you can probably whatever the closest 5 people are to you, maybe you're able to convince them to put either an engagement style outfit on, or you're able to convince them to get back into their wedding clothes if they're married, or you can just go to Value Village, which is like a thrift shop here, and you can get a dress and you can get a suit and you can put together some styled shoots for very limited funds. So I would say do that and start out with creating something that like would be really, really attractive to you if you came to a wedding photographer's website. And there's a pretty good chance that that is going to start to convert those early leads.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that clip, then press here for the full episode in glorious Technicolor. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe.